Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with a remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students.
A very warm welcome to the students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College, Standard 4th, subject English text, topic lesson number 29, Androcles and the Lion, part 2. Children, at the end of part 1, we saw that Androcles pulled out the thorn from the lion's paw, and the lion showed his gratitude by licking his arm. Now, let's read further. Androcles remained with the lion till it could walk again. He would hunt in the forest and share his food with the helpless beast. Every day he would clean and dress the lion's wound. Soon the lion was able to move about. Many times it followed Androcles wherever he went. In the meanwhile, Androcles' master had complained to the authorities that his slave Androcles had run away. Soldiers were sent in all directions to capture Androcles. They searched for him high and low, but couldn't find him. At last they came to the forest where Androcles lived. Androcles and the lion soon became friends. Androcles shared his food, cleaned and dressed his wound. In the meanwhile, his master complained the authorities, and the soldiers searched Androcles high and low. High and low means searched him everywhere. And at last they came to the forest where Androcles lived. Let's read the next paragraph. It so happened that Androcles had gone out alone that day while the lion rested near the cave. Both of them fell into the hands of the soldiers. The soldiers took them back to the city. They put Androcles in chains in a prison. The lion was caged. In those days, people who were found to be guilty of a serious crime were fed to wild beasts as punishment. Running away from one's master was a very serious crime at that time. Therefore, Androcles too was to be thrown to the wild beasts. Now, they both were captured separately. Capture means to take someone as prisoner. The soldiers took them back to the city. Androcles was imprisoned and the lion was caged. In those days, person who does a crime was led to the wild beasts. So Androcles was brought into the arena. Arena means a place where sports, entertainment or other public events take place, and was to be thrown to the wild beasts. Next paragraph. On the appointed day, the emperor arrived at the circus and took his place. The crowds cheered loudly. The trumpeters blew the trumpet, and Androcles was brought into the arena. His chains were unbound. He felt weak and dismayed. He was certain that this was the last day of his life. At the opposite end, a gate was raised, and a ferocious lion was released into the arena. It had been kept hungry to make it more ferocious. Androcles was filled with fear, but he put up a brave front. So the day arrived when Androcles was condemned to be thrown to the wild beast. The emperor took his seat. The crowd cheered. The trumpeters blew trumpet. Androcles' chains were unbound. He felt weak and dismayed. Dismayed means sad or worried. And he was brought to the arena, and a ferocious lion, ferocious means fierce and violent, was released. Released means left. Androcles was filled with fear, but he put up a brave front. To put up a brave front means to show everyone by your behavior that you are not frightened. Let's read the next paragraph. The lion saw Androcles and rushed towards him, bounding and roaring, but suddenly it stopped in its tracks. Then it moved slowly forward. All its rage seemed to have melted. Androcles saw this too. Each friend recognized the other. To everyone's amazement, the lion bounded towards Androcles again. But when it reached him, it began to purr and rub its nose against him. Androcles hugged the lion. He wept with relief and joy. The lion entered, bounding and roaring, but when it got near Androcles, what do you think it did? It moved slowly forward. All its rage seemed to be melted. Rage means extreme or violent anger. It began to purr. Purr means make a low sound to show pleasure, and rubbed its nose against him. Androcles hugged the lion. Hugged means hold tightly in one's arms to express affection, and wept with relief and joy. Relief means the feeling when something unpleasant stops or becomes less. Next paragraph. The audience, including the emperor, watched this tender sight in great wonder. People began to cheer Androcles and asked for his release. The emperor asked Androcles to explain the lion's strange behavior. When he heard the whole story, the emperor was also moved by the gratitude and friendship between man and beast. He ordered that Androcles should be set free. He would no longer be a slave. When the emperor asked Androcles what other reward he would like, Androcles replied that he did not want anything for himself, but he wanted the lion to be set free too. The two friends went back to the forest to live a free life. The audience, including the emperor, watched this tender sight. Tender means kind, loving and gentle. In great wonder, the emperor was moved hearing the explanation given by Androcles of the lion's strange behavior and watching the friendship between man and beast. He ordered that Androcles should be set free, and when he asked Androcles what other reward he would like to have, Androcles asked to set free the lion too. The emperor released both of them. They both went back to the forest and lived a free life. We will be meeting soon in the next video, so keep learning something new every day. Thank you.